Hey, what's up? This your boy Al. I had to make this video because I was talking to a lot of people, and there's really a larger amount of people in the conscious community that actually believes that not only was King David, King Solomon, not only were they not real, but the entire kingdom of Israel never happened. I mean, like, okay, if you want to talk about Moses, you want to talk about Adam and Eve, Abraham, these people, if you want to say those people never existed, I'm like, okay, you know, there's really no evidence to support any of those people exist. I personally believe they exist, but I wouldn't bring that into a debate. But when you start talking about King David, King Solomon, and an entire kingdom not existing, period, then, I mean, you're just ignoring archaeology. And that's what I'm going to bring for you today. I'm going to bring you archaeology. After this, you're not going to be able to say the kingdom of Israel never happened. You're not going to be able to say that after this, okay? You'll have to stop with this thing of saying the Israelites didn't exist before 500 BC. We're going to have to stop saying that after you see this video, okay? Now, this video doesn't prove that the story of David and Goliath was real. It doesn't prove all the specificities that you'll see in the book of Samuel and the book of Kings. It's not going to prove that, but it is going to prove that there was a kingdom there. So let's get into this. Okay, so let's start here. 1 Kings 9:15. Now, before I even start, I know a lot of you guys could be like, hey, this is not real scholarship. The Bible has no dates. You can't use the Bible to prove the Bible. This is not real scholarship. I'm like, now wait a minute, hold on. Understand the methodology here, you know. See, this isn't a situation where I'm trying to prove something in the Bible by using the Bible. Like if I said, hey, the worldwide flood really happened because it says so in the book of Genesis, that would be using the Bible to prove the Bible. But what I'm doing is the Bible is making a claim, and I am going to prove that claim to be true using archaeology outside of the Bible. Okay, so in order to prove the Bible's claim is true, I have to first put out the claim. And right here in 1 Kings 9:15 is the claim. The Bible is making a claim. So let's see here. 1 Kings 9:15. It says, "And this is the reason of the levy which Solomon raised, for to build the house of the Lord, and his own house, and Milo, and the wall of Jerusalem, Hazar, Meggido, and Gezer." If I can show you the wall of Jerusalem, the wall at Hazar, the wall of Meggido, and the wall of Gezer, and if I can show you these walls in Israel during the time of the 10th century BC, which this would be around, that would confirm the Bible's claim right here. And you guys have to stop saying the kingdom of Solomon is mythological. You have to stop saying that if I show you that these things have been discovered. Let's start off with the wall of Jerusalem. The Bible is claiming that Solomon built a wall at Jerusalem, so I need to find a wall at Jerusalem that dates back to the 10th century BC. Let's see what we have. What you're looking at right now is a wall in Jerusalem that dates back to the 10th century BC. This wall was discovered by an archaeologist by the name of Dr. Eilat Mazar from Hebrew University. Now, the opposing view is not so opposing. Tel Aviv University archaeologist Israel Finkelstein, who was not involved in the excavation. Now, that's very clear. What he's about to say is from a person that was not involved in the excavation, okay? We are giving an opinion of a person who is outside of the excavation. So even with this, you must take his word with a grain of salt, considering he was not there looking at the evidence for himself, okay? So we have to keep that in context about what his opinion is right here. But let me read that over. Tel Aviv archaeologist Israel Finkelstein, who was not involved in the excavation, agrees that it's possible King Solomon constructed the wall. Now, that is very important right there, because this guy right here, his bias leans the other way. For him to say it's even possible the wall is constructed means a lot, okay? But goes on, it's not all positive what he says. Finkelstein cautioned against leaning too heavily on the Bible to interpret the findings, okay? And these are his words. This is what he said. He said, "It depends upon the text. Each has its own characteristics. Each needs to be approached differently," he said. "There is the question as to when it was written, 300 years after or at the time of the events. What are its goals and its ideology? Why was it written?" Okay, so he's asking these questions, but in his rebuttal, the key thing is he has not debunked the findings. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He questions it. He said it could be possible, but he has not offered a debunking. So until somebody offers a debunking, I am going to say, hey, this is solid evidence until further notice. So right now, the wall of Jerusalem is undisputed. As of right now. Maybe later, evidence will come out that says that it's not legit. King Solomon would have existed in the 10th century. We have a wall of Jerusalem in the 10th century, just like what it says in the text. Okay, now let's go on to the next place. Hazar. An archaeologist by the name of Yaga Yaga discovered the city of Hazar. Now, what's interesting is that Hazar was originally a Canaanite city, and it dates back to all the way back to almost 1800 BC. Now, according to the Bible, Joshua went into battle into Canaan, and they went against Hazar. It says Hazar was the head of all these kingdoms. Let me tell you the opposing view, because we're fair here. Israel Finkelstein, once again, he has a different take on it. It's chronologically it's the same thing, but he has a different take on it. Israel Finkelstein claims that the Israelites emerged as a subculture within Canaan society and rejects the biblical account of Israel's conquest of Canaan. In his view, the book of Joshua conflates several independent battles between desperate groups over the centuries and artificially attributes them to a single leader, Joshua. But that still doesn't negate the fact that the chronology is the same. First it's a Canaanite city, then it's an Israelite city. What's important about Hazar is that they discovered a 6-chambered wall that dates to the 10th century BC. And who was supposedly reigning during the 10th century BC? King Solomon. Dr. Eilat Mazar discovered the wall in Jerusalem. Yaga Yaga discovered the wall at Hazar. So far, the biblical text is shooting 2 for 2. Now, I mentioned the style of the gate at Hazar. It's in the style of a 6-chambered gate or 6-chambered wall, okay? That's very important because in 1957, once again, archaeologist Yaga Yaga discovered another 6-chambered wall in Gezzer. And when does it date back to? 10th century BC. The link between Gezzer and Hazar, the fact that they're both built in 6-chambered fashion, that suggests that there is a unified state of Israel. We've located the wall in Jerusalem. We've located the wall at Hazar. We've located the wall at Gezzer. Right now, the Bible is shooting 3 for 3, but let's talk about Meggido for right now. First of all, once again, Yaga Yaga discovered this gate, and it's in 6-chambered fashion. Israel Finkelstein have a different take on it. We do not believe that a casemate wall, that's a 6-chamber gate wall, you know, just to clear that up. They said, we do not believe a casemate wall at Meggido has been confirmed. Moreover, we believe that the Solomonic gate of Meggido is a 2-chambered gate below the 6-chambered gate. This gives some idea of the kinds of problems that are involved in the stratigraphy of Meggido. Israel Finkelstein actually date this 6-chambered gate to the time of King Omri in the 9th century. They're making the claim that King Solomon didn't build this gate, okay? And when you look on the Mesha Stela, it says right there, Omri, king of Israel. So, all right, that's an opposing view, and they have evidence to back up that claim. I just wish I could have saw a debate between Yaga and Finkelstein, to where I could see Finkelstein's evidence and Yadin's evidence, and then I could have saw a debate to which view really was the right view. But we're not going to get that because Yadin passed away. Let's wrap this up. We look at the wall of Jerusalem. Checked. The wall at Hazar, checked. The wall at Gezer, check. The wall at Meggido has been discovered. But there is a debate whether Solomon built it or a later king like King Omri. Israel Finkelstein's position is that the majority of the wealth and prosperity that happened in the ancient kingdom of Israel happened during the reign of King Omri. And he feels that the biblical authors were more biased towards King David and King Solomon, and didn't like Omri for some strange reason. And when you look at the Meggido, and when you even look at it in the Bible, King Omri is not looked at in the most positive light. So I guess they were kind of angry that, hey, the majority of this wealth happened during the reign of this knucklehead. You know, I don't know, but that's his theory, okay? And he believes that King Solomon and King David were real kings. He just says that they were just governing over a couple of small city-states, okay? So even if you want to go with that, I don't believe, that's not my position, you know, and mind you, that's the minimalist view. See, when you look at scholarship, you have the consensus view and you have the minimalist view. Israel Finkelstein's view is the minimalist view. You can even look at 1 Kings 14:25, where the Pharaoh Shishak attacks Judah, okay? And then when you look at the Bubestai portal, you see Shishak attacks Judah right around 924 BC, right around the time of King Rehoboam in the Bible. So right there, the Bible says, hey, Shishak attacked Judah. And then on the Bubestai portal, you can see for yourself, Shishak attacked Judah. Attacked Meggido, a couple of little towns in Judah. Now, the only dispute was that is, the Bible specifically says Jerusalem. And on the Bubestai portal, it doesn't say Jerusalem specifically, you know. And some people say, well, hey, a lot of the inscriptions have been worn off. Jerusalem may have been one of those things that got worn off. I don't know. But even with that said, the Bible said Shishak attacked Judah. And then we look at extra biblical sources that says Shishak attacked Judah. So let's stop with this. Let's stop with this. Let's stop the madness. There was a kingdom of Israel. None of this proves that there was a David and Goliath with the slingshot and all of that. It doesn't prove all of that. But it does prove that there was a kingdom of Israel. And I'm going to be conservative. There was a kingdom of Israel as early as the 9th century BC under the reign of King Omri. You know, but me personally, I'm going to take the consensus view, which is there was a kingdom of Solomon and King David. That is the consensus view. All right, y'all. Peace.